I don't know about you guys, but when I was young, I thought that growing up is going to be no more rules, no more schools, no more telling me what to do.
So if we take finances, for example, how often were we ever told about taxes or dealing with savings, investments, and stuff like that? Most of the things we know right now, we never learned that in school. We learned that because we actually came into society with a different mindset.
There's no way to teach somebody these are the things you would experience in life and this is how to deal with them. Everybody's life experience is different. Everybody is going through life.
Recently, I was thinking about the nursery rhymes that we learned. I'm not talking about the European ones, were mostly like races. Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? The black sheep don't have any wool for the masters, but the white sheep, it was for fun. I'm not talking about that one. There was this particular nursery rhyme that our Ghanaian teachers taught us, and it made sense to me recently. You know when they say you will understand in future? It made sense to me recently. Hi, hello everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to another session of Scatteryan. In this episode, we're going to be discussing something that affects everyone. We're going to be talking about adulthood. As usual, I'm your host and the guy that cannot swim but would like to have a boat, Toves. In today's episode, I'm joined by some of your faves that's going to join me to Scatteryan. We have the man that likes to eat chicken down to the bone. I'm talking about Mr. Seun T. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm surprised you remember that.
Well, you told us, and we're going to stick with it. And we also have Johnny Boy back again. He loves to have
It's your
fun,
boy.
chatting with his friends. How are you doing, sir?
It's nice. I'm happy to be here as well. I love to talk about different topics. So it's lovely to be here.
All right, all right. And we also got the big stan that people call the man. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing well. Again, I appreciate the invite. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Like I said, we're going to be talking about something that affects everyone. As a youngster, I will speak about myself. I don't know about you guys, but when I was young, I thought that growing up is going to be the best thing that's going to ever happen to you. I imagine myself in a cool job, making lots of money. I was saying no more rules, no more schools, no more telling me what to do. But now that I'm an adult, I don't think that is how it is for me. It's different, trying to balance work and life. It's not as easy. But what about you guys? Is adulthood what you guys expected, or is it something different from what you thought?
That's such a vague, broad
I know.
question.
Yeah, I like vague and broad. But yeah, we go.
In some ways, yes. And I think I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking to my wife about it the other day. I guess like when I was a child, you know how they'll ration your chicken and your meat for you. When they serve you rice, they'll give you one meat. Or they serve you rice, they give you one chicken. I think like one of the best parts about adulthood, if I want now, I can make like 5 chicken and eat essentially all chicken. Or like the other day, like you make nothing but chicken and shrimp. So there's a kind of enjoyment that I guess like you can do while you're an adult that maybe you couldn't before.
For me, I would say it really isn't what I expected. The price of mattresses, super expensive. No one ever tells you that a mattress is that expensive.
Price for good sleep.
It's not. I want to say to a very. I want to say to a very large extent. I don't think we were prepped for it, and we're still figuring it out. So it's not. It's still not what I expected because things are changing, and I don't know what tomorrow holds. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So I guess my next question is, what is? Yeah, go on, Johnny Boy. Sorry, I apologize.
Well, to me, I'll say it's a 50-50 because, like you said, like you get to make decisions for yourself. Like yesterday, I went out. I just came back around like 5 a.m. Growing up, I couldn't dare that. Like even going back to Nigeria, I went back home, and then by 7 a.m. I have to be back home because mom and dad were like, "Oh, where are you?" Well, growing up now, I can go out, come back anytime I want, as long as I'm safe. And like Sheol said, if you want 5 chickens now, you can have 5 chickens without anybody telling you,
Yeah, I mean, I
"Oh
I
no,
was
you have
really
to,
trying to
you have to
see, right?
share.
Like,
You have to share. Oh, your brother has to take one. This. So now, yeah,
now you can both eat 5 if you like.
exactly. If you like,
But
Right.
but the food thing, I think the food thing in general is like
yeah,
it's like a substitute for the amount of indulgence you can have as an
yeah,
adult,
it's
right? Like
just you can make for yourself.
as a kid or somebody who is under somebody else's supervision, everything that you consume, everything that you do is governed and rationed by somebody else. But as an adult, to an extent, if you want to, like Johnny Boy just said, if you want to go out for 5 nights in a row, no, but nobody's gonna. Like, it's a gift and a curse, right? Nobody's gonna send you. Nobody's gonna keep you accountable. Nobody's gonna feel like it's their responsibility to make sure that, oh, you're fed, you're getting the right nutrients, you're hydrated, you have clothes properly available for you. Nobody's going to do any of that for you. So you can indulge yourself as much as you like, either to your own benefit or ultimate demise.
All right. So I would like us to explore something that Stan said. He thought we're not fully prepared for adulthood. What do you mean by that? Is it like societal expectations, or is it that the norms or the culture? Like, what did you mean?
Well, I think it varies with different stuff. So if we take finances, for example, we all went to the same school. How often were we ever told about taxes or dealing with savings, investments, and stuff like that? It's just you had to go there and you had to get the grades. And then when your professor talking to you, sometimes they're only doing it because they want your money and that's about it. So they're not going to take that extra time to actually prep you for real life situations, right? Most of the things we know right now, we don't know. We never learned that in school. We learned that because we actually came into society
Experience.
with a different mindset. And now our mindset that we came into may have changed in a very, I want to say in a very large concept. So even let's even take from growing up, parents and all. How often do they talk to us about you may see this in life, do it this way, or savings and stuff? It's never all that. It's I would always provide for you kind of thing. I remember when I was in secondary school and I would save whatever cash they gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always want to get something for myself. And my dad literally told me, why do you think I'm here? You don't have to save. I will work and give you the money. And I went with that idea for until I got into university. I'm like, okay, now I'm asking you for money. You're telling me no. But
Mm-hmm.
you said you're here
Mm.
and I will give you whatever you want. So I had to come back and be like, now I got to start saving.
Mm-hmm.
So the pleasures of life that I may want to go for, I have to cut down and be like, I can have that later, but let me save this cash right now because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
So somehow we're still, if you put it in a way, yes, we're saving right now. We're being adults, we're being good and all that. But at the same time, I believe because we've had, or let me say myself, I've had that mentality of I always have to have some sort of emergency fund, which is good,
Mm-hmm.
emergency fund somewhere. That when I start thinking, maybe I want to go grab a new iPad, I start thinking, but what if there's an emergency, right? I don't know what emergency is going to come,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to keep that cash and be like emergency funds, and it may come, it may never
Right, but
come.
like that's not something anybody can teach you, right? And people often say this thing that Stanley just went through about how nobody actually teaches you about the real life experiences and that what we learn in school doesn't prepare us for life. But like I don't think there's any way to actually do that, right? It's a cliche that people often bring up, but there's
Mm-hmm.
no way to teach somebody like, oh, these are the things you will experience in life and this is how to deal with them for a couple of reasons. Like one, everybody's life experience is different. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many differences in the life experiences that we have, so many differences in the lessons that individual people take from whatever life experience that they have, that there's no way, and obviously nobody even has the time, right? Everybody is going through life. Who has the time to sit you down and give you the 10 points lesson plan on, okay, this is the way to have a successful life? Because more often than not, most people, like there's a 1% of human beings that are actually truly successful who could give you step by step, this is the way to get to be a billionaire and to have everything you would want in life. But more often than not, our parents, and I can't speak for anybody else's socioeconomic situation, but like for even my parents, like it wasn't every single thing that they could give us. They lacked in many different ways. They were still trying to hustle and navigate. So what can you teach me about the perfect way to solve life when I can't have a PS2 now
Mm-hmm.
because, oh, don't worry, we'll give it to you next year or something. Or, instead of going to America for school, I mean, Covenant University or something, like, I mean, no shit on the school, but like
No, don't
the people
don't
we're
get me
with couldn't,
wrong.
No, but,
yeah.
but but they
You're
could
you're
have
not
told
wrong.
us about like
No
savings
one
and stuff.
no one can fully prepare you, but there are certain things you
Yeah,
could be prepared for,
exactly.
right? You came and you started learning about taxes on your own. Were you ever, did anyone ever show you how to get it done from when you were in a grade school up until university and you're done, right?
No, but
There's
why,
certain
why is anybody
activities,
teaching you about taxes in university or grade school? That's the question. Like,
If
why,
you're in
why,
accounting, they will teach
how
you about
important?
taxes.
Yeah, and
yeah.
how
So
important
why shouldn't you learn it though? Why shouldn't you
If you're
learn
gonna
it?
get taxed, no
most
matter
most
the
people who pay taxes through their employer, because most people are employed by somebody else,
yeah,
right? The handful of people who work their own jobs, who own their own companies and have to take care of their own taxes, those people need to learn
Mhm.
about taxes and how to file it, right? And what to do for everyone.
yeah.
So like,
Mhm.
what, are you going to sit everybody in class and say, oh, in case you need to, what class does that come in? What class do you substitute that for? Is it economics? Is it
Entrepreneurship.
biology about learning about your
No, it
body?
could it
Like,
could be it
It can
again.
be
It's not
entrepreneurship.
like you have to be
Entrepreneurship,
forced
man.
exactly,
Yeah.
but it's not like you have to be forced to go take that classes. But having those avenues available so people can learn. We are, if we're being totally honest, from when we were in school, then we were very single-minded in the sense that it has to be a 2-1 first class and never a third class. All we were striving for was to just graduate. What else? You mentioned something when we were talking earlier about you found a better experience when you went to camp. You started
mhm.
learning about life,
Mm.
different things in there. How often did you learn certain things within the school environment? Within our school environment at that time, we were very single minded. It had to be, we will graduate, and that's about it. If you don't graduate, you also know you can't go home.
Yeah,
So
but you know
it
the
So you
thing
can't go home.
the counterintuitive thing about schooling, secondary school and university, right? It's kind of
Mhm.
counterintuitive. It's not actually there to teach you anything per se. It's there to teach you how to think. It's
Yes, I
there to
agree with that.
instill behavioral
Mhm.
patterns into you, not necessarily any specific knowledge, right?
Skill,
Because
yeah.
more often than
And
not,
sorry,
none
one
of
question in there:
nothing we learned
what
in
kind of
like in
behavioral
high school and
patterns
university
though?
are we using.
At
Go
all.
ahead.
No, what you just said something. What behavioral patterns to say? Let's give
Yeah.
examples.
No, the ability to, so if for doing work, right? The ability to come to carry out a work process of researching something, summarizing the thing you're researching, and then
Be able to
communicating the
present it,
information that
yeah.
you found out to somebody else,
Problems,
right? It
problem
teaches you
Okay.
solving,
routine, problem
working
solving.
in tight deadlines, working under
Yeah,
pressure, being
yeah,
able to
yeah.
express yourself,
Yeah.
communication, all of that stuff.
All those things, like being able to work in teams, learning about difference, learning about hierarchy within learning about like the life skills of, oh, the more you achieve, the more benefits or value accrues to you. Essentially, these are things that you learn in school, just in the school environment, right? That there's merit, there's consequences for your actions. These are the things that school gives you. Oh, that life basically requires of you a routine. You have to get up in the morning,
Mm,
work for a certain amount of time, and then you go back home at the end of the day.
Right. For
Do
me,
you not
I
think that that has? Sorry,
no,
just
go ahead,
one
finish your
question in
point.
that. Do you not think that has to do with the generation as well? If we had to bring a younger generation into this, and you talk about waking up in the morning and blah blah blah, we see it that that may be good, and we learn that, but to them it may be bad.
Yes,
Do you
you're
not see it that
correct.
way?
You're correct in highlighting a generational difference, right? And the life lessons that our parents took when they were growing up are different from the life lessons that their parents took, because the society at the time was different. So there was a time in our history as a civilization where the most important skill you could pass down from one generation to the other is how to till the land, what to do when it's raining, what to do when it's dry season, how to run away from that animal that might come and steal your crops. And then after a while, it became, oh, because when people were exploring, people were getting on ships, it became, oh, how do you, what to do about a bank? How do you save money? How do you set up a community within or between a group of people? What's necessary for a small township or so to thrive? And then it got to a point where, oh, the thing you do is become a lawyer, become a doctor,
You
when
just
that's
made a
what you need
great
to do.
point. You literally made a point I was trying to make. Now we've come to a sense, or we've come to a time where information being passed through generations, it's no longer self-serving, life-serving to say. You said something, how to set up a community, how to go work in a bank or build a bank and save money and all that. Those were information, life skills that people were learning way, way back. But we were never learning that in our time. So
So again,
technically, you are also, well,
different
you're
generation,
saying,
different requirements, right? So many of the challenges that we face growing up, they've been solved. And that's the point of technological advancement. So as somebody growing up now, you don't have to learn how to do times table in your head too much, because every single gadget you have has the ability to do calculation far more than a human being at the speed of light. So we don't have to learn 2 times 2 for 3 times 3 because you don't need that, like you don't need that aptitude anymore. But the skills that these younger people are learning are of a different variety, like the ability to code quickly, the comfort with certain technologies, like the paradigms have shifted in a
Yeah,
way now.
AI.
So what we considered life skills at our time are not necessarily like life skills, because who needs to know how to do handwritten accounting? Look at AI, for example. Very soon, editors are going to be out of fashion. Who needs to know all the different languages in the world when there's a translation app for you that can translate anything? So, like, the skills are changing basically that we need from people.
Right. I just want to answer one question asked earlier. How do you teach younger ones, like, how do you teach them life skills without them knowing? Like in primary school, recently I was thinking about the nursery rhymes that we learned because I went to a school that was mostly Ghanaian, right? I'm not talking about the European ones who are mostly like racist, Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? The black sheep don't have any wool for the masters, but the white sheep, it was for fun. I'm not talking about that one. There was this particular nursery rhyme that our Ghanaian teachers taught us, and it made sense to me recently. You know, when they say you will understand in future, it made sense to me recently. The
Mm.
nursery rhyme was all day long, life goes on. Teachers go to school, workers go to work, farmers till the ground all day long. It doesn't make sense to a child. But now it's making sense, isn't it? All day long. All we're going
Yeah.
to be doing is going to work,
Work.
regardless of you're
Yeah.
going to have to just work all day long. You know, thinking about survival, existence. That's what it is, and we have to find the way to survive and exist. I think that's more of a valid nursery rhyme than trying to learn, London Bridge is falling
Everybody
down
falling
and
down.
stuff like that.
No,
And
but
yeah,
it defeats the purpose there, because what you're saying is the
mhm,
reality that as a child you don't understand the nursery
yes,
rhyme. So the value that you're saying it
yeah, but
it has no value to the child.
at that point in time because they all just want to have fun,
Yeah,
but it's sown in the mind because at the end of the day, what we learn from childhood is what helps us growing up. And
Yeah.
another one that we used to sing as well that made me question. I was thinking about freedom. Like we thought when we're children, we grew up, you're going to be free and all of that stuff, free to
Oh,
do
we're not.
whatever you want. But the reality is, you're not really free.
You're not free, man.
I flipped a nursery rhyme again that we usually sing. It was every holiday. It is holidays coming. No more morning bells. No more teachers weep.
No more teacher
Teachers
sick.
goodbye.
Come up.
Scholars goodbye. We are going on jolly holiday. But now think about it as an adult. No more morning bell. It's when I'm looking forward to my annual leave. No more morning bell to me is no more alarm.
mm,
No more teachers weep.
mm.
For
Right.
me right now is
No
basically no
more, no
more
more boss.
task and pressure. You know
No
exactly.
emails. Not looking at
Not
emails.
looking at those things because
Funny
I'm going
enough,
on
you
jolly
sometimes
holiday.
you still need to look at the email because there might be an emergency.
Even while you're on
No, I
vacation,
Yeah.
don't on
yeah,
annual
no.
leave.
It is-
No,
I,
no.
I believe you're not wrong though. I believe it's a cycle. If we look at that email thing, for example, we're saying, "Oh, holidays coming, no more teacher, blah blah blah,"
Yeah.
but then there's a pressure, maybe a week or 2 weeks to when you're going to your next class. Oh,
Yeah.
you have to know this. You have to know this. When you, as a worker, you go off on vacation, coming back,
Yeah,
you
like
cannot
yeah.
tell people look at
Exactly.
the email the
You
day
like all
before.
these
Yeah,
things
because
are
they might
piling
need
and
you
waiting for
exactly.
me
They
as
might need
well.
your help. They might need your help on something.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me,
Yeah.
I think for adulthood, my biggest disappointment was the illusion of freedom. Am I really free? No, I'm not really
No.
free
All you
because
have is control freedom.
the only freedom I have for me
Mm.
is to decide who I'm going to go and serve, unless you're working for yourself. And even if you're working for yourself, like what
You're
business are
still
you going
not
to
free.
partner with? That's the only like freedom I think you have, but you're still working within certain constraints. If you're in a relationship, long term one, are you really making that decision or your partner is making you think you're making that decision,
Yeah.
allowing you to do certain things. So you just begin like, what is really free? What is the benefit of adulthood apart from, yes, you have the right to make those decisions, but it's still a decision based on another layer of someone else's decision and all of that stuff. So it's just up
There,
So
and down to
basically
me.
cause
you
consequences.
may there
Yeah.
are different values or advantage to being an adult, right? I believe we're all at the age right now where we can start our own family. Whatever values we've learned, we can instill that or maybe modify that. So primarily creating your own legacy, right?
Mm.
So hence why I'm still talking about when it comes to, oh, we were never prepared for so many things. We were not. For others we were. Values for sure, based on how you grew
Yeah.
up, you had those values and they still guide you till now.
Yeah,
if we're
but
being honest.
picking up on what you're saying, Sunny, I think for me that's where my own biggest disappointment in terms of adulthood comes from. It's the idea that like growing up, you're taught that generally it's good to be honest, it's good to be kind, it's good to be
But then you come
nice,
into the real
and
world.
you grow up with the expectation that like that's how everybody moves. But in
The
the
real
Yeah.
real
world
world,
is,
people are
oh my
liars,
god.
people cheat, people like steal, people
But
are
does it
No,
then
I think my
make you
parents told me
become
that
that?
one. My mom was quick to tell me that. My dad, to be fair, I think when we
Yeah,
prayed so many times, they were
but
quick to tell me, "Hey, trust nobody,"
right.
because people are going to
Well,
let you
Yeah.
down and
But
stuff like that.
let me ask this question.
Yeah.
You've been told that. You know that. Did
Hmm.
it make you become like that? No.
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 Values that was passed down as well.
But then it could be
Okay,
heartbreaking though when you see that though. I remember
it's
having,
heartbreaking when
yeah,
you
oh
realize
my
now,
god.
yeah, when you have to come. But like and another angle of this is that like I think what something else I've learned as an adult is that honestly, regardless of whatever your parents think they're trying to instill in you,
Hmm.
like really each person, like even though you come from a parent, each human being is an individual in their own right,
Yeah.
right? And then you grow up and you're like, oh, like I'm a completely different person, I'm an individual, I have my own worldview. So regardless of whatever your parents think that they might have been trying to do, and then when you grow up and I guess like we're all in places where therapy is more accepted, and you learn about how as adults every single quirk and behavior and idiosyncrasy that we have
Yeah.
is as a result of some aspect of our upbringing, some elements of the way we saw our parents be. Because they say children are like sponges and you're constantly just soaking up the dynamic.
Yeah.
So whether or not it's how your father talks to your mother, how your mother treated the house help, and what you saw, like what was the house like when your parents came back home, what was your relationship like, all these individual things come together to form who you are as an adult. So whether or not if you decide to sit your child down and like, oh, today you're learning about honesty, today you're learning this life lesson about taxes. Tomorrow, this lesson for you is about what to do when there's a rabbit in your yard. Like you might end up breeding somebody who is completely opposite because of the environment you try to create.
Society
It
plays
had
a
some
big
like
role, yeah.
inadvertent consequences.
Right.
So
So
yeah, it's really just
I still believe that everything you've mentioned, you're 100% right. But I still believe that you can either break free from certain things or continue in that same pattern to say, there was something I read in a book, and this was a few years ago. And you mentioned something that when you see people being mean or blah, 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 it's heartbreaking. But when I read that single statement, I didn't get anything out of that book except that statement. And it literally changed my worldview of how I see people. If you do wrong, okay, I understand you're a human being. And it said, this is the first time we're ever being human beings. That's all I got from that statement. This is the first time we're ever being human beings. Obviously, we're not perfect. And we believe when we think people are being perfect or they've seen it all, they're still seeing more stuff. We're still learning, we're still evolving. The moment I seen that statement, I don't know what it is about that statement, but if I'm driving and you cut me off, obviously I'm pissed off inside, but I'm not as mad as I was before because I don't know what's going through your head while
mm,
you're making that decision. You're the first one being a human being. I'm the first. This is my first time being a human being. Now it's an
mean,
opportunity
if
to
only,
always
right?
learn from
If
every
only everybody
situation.
saw the world like the way you did, there would be no road rage, or there would be no like any of the crazy things that happen.
right. So
I mean,
let's.
like I think one something I wanted to bring up is just still on the disappointment angle somewhat. It's just kind of like the cold hard realities of adulthood, right? Like the fact that as the child, if you're under somebody's protection, you're a bit sheltered, right? You're a bit immune from the consequences of your actions. There's a lot that once you're an adult and you have to stand on your own 2 feet, right? When it's no longer about who your father is or who your mother is, but it's about who you are as a person, right? So when you walk into a room, nothing you have on was bought for you by your parents. It's what you can afford to purchase or procure for yourself that would speak for you. It's the rooms that you're able to put yourself in, not anything that your parents are able to do for you that determine where you are, where you go as a person. And it's just fascinating because I think adulthood is harder now than it has ever been at any point in time for any
I
of the
agree.
adults
Right.
I
that
agree.
that that
So
that
let's
are
follow
available
that.
or that
Let's
exist.
let's follow that train of thought. And what tips are you going to give to younger people now on how to navigate adulthood based on what you have learned and maybe things that have worked for
We
you
see the
or
navigate
things
now.
you or things that you've learned along the way? We have younger viewers that are like 18 and stuff. You're past that age. You can dunk on the Gen Zs and Gen Alpha because of your
Mm.
experience. So, what have you learned? For me, I've learned that when you're working hard or whatever you're doing in life, know that every action that you're taking is going to affect you 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. So basically, make your choice
Come on, no,
wisely.
no. I want to challenge you on
Take
that.
your
Didn't they tell you
actions
that when you were growing
wisely.
up too? Didn't you still make mistakes? Like they told
Yes, I'm not.
everybody
I'm
that
not
now.
saying. I'm
That's
not
one of the
saying. But the thing
oldest.
is, that's for me. For me, I don't see. I don't see mistake as the way people see mistake because I believe you need mistake to grow. Right. For me, mistake just means wrong judgment. Like you miscalculated. For me, that's mistake. Some people see mistake as failure.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
I'm saying the lesson of every action has a reaction, or the
No, no, no.
actions you
Every action
have
has a
have
consequence.
consequences. Like if,
Yes.
if you told me that, my response would be duh, like sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, I still want to go do bad shit now. Like I still want to, like, okay, yeah, I'll
Yes,
deal with
and
the
then
consequences
you go and
when it
find out,
comes.
as they say, you're gonna f around and find out. So
Hey,
you
if
know,
around and you find out something. Um,
Mine we don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Like take life in stages. Like right now they put too many on too much pressure. Like,
yes,
oh
I
by
agree with
20
that one as
by
well.
25, 26, I must be a baller, I must be making six figures, I must be this, I must be married by 28. Just
Two
take,
kids.
yeah, take life in
Yes,
stages.
Yeah.
Don't allow peer pressure
Vacation every
or
summer.
what you read on social media. Because
mm,
right now everything's about social media. Don't allow them fool you.
Right.
Just take life in
right. That's
stages.
that's
Um,
that's difficult to do, but yeah,
I know, but
it's a
like
good
that's what
advice.
you have
yeah,
to
I
do
mean,
though. You have to do
it's
that
easy
though.
for us to say now. It's difficult, and I think it's really scary because growing up, at least for me, during holiday, all we wanted to do was argue about football and play football. Monday to night, we're outside. Like if we're not playing football, we're running, we're chasing people. Like there wasn't the opportunity to just be on your phone looking at Kim Kardashian, looking at Northwest, looking at somebody who's on
Yeah.
vacation today. All their whole Instagram or TikTok is
Yeah,
one trip to the other.
their
It's
whole life
theirs.
is on
Like,
is on social media. Like literally.
that stuff does something to the human mind, right? So like the younger people who are growing up now, who are dealing with these crazy expectations because the world has been flattened. Whereas the most you could see was Tunde, and if Tunde was too bad, he had a PS2. That was the height of say somebody they flex, oh they have PlayStation. But even still, if you see the flog him, like you might still be beating him on his own P or his own
right.
Pro or something. But the people you're comparing yourself with now in these days, like they're young, but they have all the bags. They are in the front row Beyonce show. Like
They're
they
going
like
to other
all it's
exotic
it's it's
places.
crazy. The pressure like is
Yeah.
different, and I think for me, like most of the advice, if I was to give somebody now, would have to do with along the lines of Johnny Boy, that like see like this thing you're seeing on the
It's
internet
fake.
is not real life, right? I would tell them to go watch old movies from the 90s or 2000, early 2000s. Life can be simple. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to just love
Yes,
somebody and not be perfect as a human being. Just
yeah,
take it easy, go outside, touch some grass.
It
yes.
just
Motivate
reminds me of
I,
yourself.
I
Don't
I
pressurize
agree.
yourself.
No,
it reminds me of the
I
case
agree
of
with
the Dubai
everything you guys are
summit.
saying.
Yeah.
No, I really agree with everything you guys are saying, but I think it's going to be hard to actually convince the younger generation that
Yeah, no, of
everything they're
course.
seeing
I
online
know.
is
Yeah.
fake,
I know. I know.
Mhm.
or it's their mindset is different.
Well,
If
that's
it's
what.
not fast and flashy, it's going to be hard to actually convince them. And I would say I'm still with you guys. Just stay true to yourselves. You know what you're looking for, and go for it, kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
Again, I will still stick with my statement: it is the first time we're being humans.
Right.
So mistakes will happen.
And
Learn
I
and
also
grow.
and I also say what my parents used to say when I was being a stubborn boy. They say, "Don't worry, you're going to learn. What you don't understand right now, you will
You
understand in
learn,
future.
You
yeah.
learn,
All
and
we
you,
can do is
you
to give you
yeah.
advice. We can only advise. At the end of the day, you are the architect of your own future. So you do whatever you want. As usual, I want to round up with some would you rather questions, maybe 2 or 3 to round up this episode. And feel free to participate as well. The audience at home, you can leave your own answers in the comment section. And while you're scrolling down to type, press the like button as well. Thank you very much. And subscribe if you're new. So, to the panel and to everyone, would you rather have a high paying job that you hate or a low paying job that you love?
So that question is in two parts. Different stages. When I'm
It's very vague.
when I'm younger, I will take the high paying job that I don't like. But as I'm growing, probably late 30s, 40s. Now my goal in life has changed. Probably have a family now, so I have to be closer to my family. So I might actually go for the well-paying job with more time on my side and stuff like that.
No,
What does
we're
high
not going
paying
that. We're
mean?
not going that one. Whatever you think it is, whatever high paying is to you, high paying job that you hate,
Yeah,
or low paying job that you love, whatever low paying is. I don't want to put
yeah, I
parameters because
understand.
we all know
It's
where our
important though.
because we all know where
It's
our
important
ceiling is.
because it's relative again. Okay,
So
yeah, okay. If you
answer
ask
based
me
on what you want to.
Exactly.
based on what I consider high
Yeah, yeah.
paying, right?
Yes.
So if something was like exorbitant, let me not be too greedy. Maybe like $500,000 a year or something wild like that I don't like. I would take
No,
the
no,
high
like that
paying
you
job
hate. Keyword there.
that I hate.
Yes.
That I hate my job. Is
Mm.
this slave? Is this slavery that I'm working for
No, you
life?
just
Right.
the money is in basically the money is the one that's just keeping you going. Like, but everything there you hate it, but you just want to
That's
just
like
keep going.
I'll take
like
the high
ninety
paying
percent
job.
of everyone right now. If we're
Sorry,
being
Stan.
honest, that's like I said. That's like 90% of everyone working right now. If we're being honest, the economy does not
Yeah,
let you think about,
yeah.
oh, I got to spend time with my family. Yes, it's at the back of your mind, but if you cannot provide for them,
No.
I
what is the
mean,
point spending time,
I mean,
right? Um,
and yeah, no,
Yes,
no.
I
it's the
see.
High paying
reality
job.
of things. If you have asked me this question back, let's say back in 1999, possibly the job I love, low paying, things were a little bit easier then.
Life was
If you ask
simpler.
me this question right now that you're asking,
Mhm.
obviously, let the hatred build in me. I will take that
I'll
job.
go to therapy.
The
Exactly.
money will make me smile at the end of the month.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
Exactly.
regardless of age,
So,
I always take the high paying job that I hate. But yeah, maybe it's just my mentality. But yeah, money makes the world go round. So
Like they say,
yeah.
you prefer to cry
Yeah.
in the Benz than to smile in the
Mm.
keke.
Right. Next one. Would you rather spend your weekends going out and socializing or staying in and relaxing?
Hmm.
Yeah.
these
This
are
one.
Can you do
questions.
both?
These are questions
Yeah, I
geared
mean,
towards
it
our
needs some more
generation.
details now. Like in these questions, like
Yeah,
you
Because
need
you
to ask
actually
for more
there's some
because
parameters
like I
times
because
said, I'll leave you to your imaginations of parameters that you want because my
I'm
parameters
I'll
going
go
to
go
be
with
beyond
very
both.
honest
parameters.
with you.
Go both, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
both.
But
with
would
you
you
on that. I'm
rather
going to be very honest.
or either or?
Oh.
Well, I think I would rather create an opportunity like Johnny Boy and be like, go with both. I'm happy that we're all connecting right now. I don't have to drive. I don't have to deal with construction. I don't have to deal with the rain or the
Yeah.
weather. We're here. We're talking different. Yes, sometimes I would want to do this. Sometimes even thinking about going out,
yeah,
I'm praying
priority
they
sweet too
cancel.
now.
Yeah.
So
So basically, you're mostly going to choose staying in because you're leaning towards
I,
the other
I
side.
may choose staying in and just do my thing at home. Honestly, sometimes when you think about
No.
the traffic, construction,
Bro.
and things you have to deal with,
So
you just think
so
about it
to
and like,
to
yeah, no, no,
my
no.
my 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 counter to that would be well, like where I live. I live like close to a main street, basically like Telegraph. So you can walk. I can just walk to the street, and there's restaurant bar all around. And yeah, I'd rather go out. Like I mean, obviously, if I have to choose between one
Hmm.
and the other, go out. Like being out is nice. Even though I also like staying at
But
home
you know,
many
being
times,
out
but
means money spending. That's what you should know that, bro.
Well, I think you know what,
that
Money
in
was
your
it.
speaking,
perspective,
are they
no,
good?
in your perspective, based on where you're living, you can walk to places. For
Yeah.
most of us, we can't. We would have to drive, right? So
Yeah.
when I think about all the stress of all the lights I'm gonna hit, and all the annoying bikers, and all the annoying people who turn and they don't put under
Yeah,
signals,
they're just
or
humans, Stan. They're just humans. Since the
That's
first
they
time they're
are.
that's
humans.
that's
All,
But
all
why
the
that's
construction
this is the
why
right
person
I
now,
I've been
then
doing
say
my
to
Abi.
myself, let me stay home because I know
That's why
they're
we need more
human.
parameters for Dr. Toves'
I don't like. I
question
don't
yeah.
like
because it's just
parameters.
going out every
Yeah,
weekend or
that's
staying
why I
home.
would stay home because I understand
Yeah,
you're human. So
weekends,
let me
plural,
stay home.
whichever one you choose, regardless of me, weekends I'll choose to stay in than going out. I'm an
Is it
introvert.
that
I'm
is
honest.
it that if I go out I can't stay in? Or like yes, and
No, like
what are the conditions for
how would you
this?
rather spend your weekends? Would you rather spend your weekends, basically? Yeah.
I rather
I'm not
stay in.
Some
saying
weekends I want to go out
Well,
now. Some
it's
weekends I
yeah,
want
not
to stay in.
obviously, but which
yeah.
one would you rather do more of? Okay,
I ra-
should I change it
It,
to
de-
okay, I
which
it
one would
rather
you
depends.
rather
It
do
depends
more
on
of?
yeah, it depends on the vibe.
okay, right now I'll choose going out
Well,
because during the
you
week I
know
work
what?
from home.
When
So
you
it's
say
easier for me to
weekends, right?
Hmm.
Sorry, when you say weekends, we're talking about Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, within those 3 days, there's one day I want to stay indoors. I'm already out Monday to Friday. So why can't I just stay home for one day and then the other day we'll go out again? But
These guys, you
your
guys are
your
not fun.
questions are quite
You
vague.
guys are
All right.
too. No, you guys
Right,
are too
right,
deep.
right,
You're
right,
overthinking
right,
things.
right
Right. Let me ask
now.
another two and see if you're not going to find holes in this
Oh,
plot.
Man,
it's
I'm trying to
fire.
go out.
Let me ask two more to see if you can't find any holes in this plot. Now, would you rather know exactly where you'll be in 10 years or be surprised by where life takes you
I want
and
to
find the
know.
hole in this?
I want to know. That's my final question.
If I
Or
know,
my
can I
final
do something
answer.
about
Sorry.
it, or do I open up Pandora's box? Right? Like, is there? Do we get into
Too
some
many sci-fi
philosophical
movies, my
questions
bro.
where
Like you've watched too
No,
many
no,
by
no.
sci-fi
knowing
Just
movies.
know the future and go deal with it later.
no, by knowing, does that immediately change the future? Because if you know something is happening, then it can no longer like happen in exactly the way it was going to happen before because you
No,
know it's
but
happening.
that's where you're overthinking. Now, if we had to overthink, when you know the future, you don't know how you got to that future. You only see it. So now the
So I guess
adventure
either
is
way, any road could
working
still
up
lead
to
you
that
there.
future.
Yeah.
So that's the adventure,
Um,
working up to that. I want to know, but don't tell me the process. Let me
would
work
you rather
and walk
know?
the process.
I'd rather not know because I don't think I could deal with the kind of like fatalism. Like if regardless of whatever it is, I can't escape to the possibility that by knowing whatever I'm doing, will I affect it?
Yeah.
Or am I just working? Should I be just be lax and not care? I know that whatever I do, regardless of what I do, is working in that direction. What
Sure.
if it's good? Is it good news? Is it bad news? Am I in a bad situation? Am I in a good situation? Why not? Why did I
Whichever
try and
one.
do something about it?
I rather not know as
Yeah.
well too.
Uh,
I don't not know. Hell's
No, no,
God forbid, in 10 years time you might be dead. I don't want to know that.
yes, no.
But that's why you live life to the fullest right now.
exactly. I'll rather know. I think
No,
I'm more
man.
of a worst case scenario type of person, right? So I want to know so I can deal with it right now, leading up to it. If it's good, fantastic. I know my life is great. I'm making the right choices. If it's bad, well, I'll cherish the life I have right now and then, face the consequences when I get there. whatever, whatever. So last
Either
one.
way,
Yeah.
like you said, there's always going to be a consequence to face. So
Yeah.
you don't know, you're still going to face that consequence. So why not? Let me
Let me
know it, but let me just enjoy the adventure leading up to that.
Yeah. So last one for the episode. Would you rather retire early with a modest lifestyle, modest again, subject to your own interpretation of modest, or work longer but retire with a luxurious lifestyle?
So
Which one
when
would
you
you?
say work longer, are we what year? How many years are you
So
looking at?
basically, maybe let's say retire early. I would say the earliest you can retire in UK is like 55. So retire 55, for example, with a modest lifestyle, or work
Okay.
until like 67, 68
55.
with a luxurious lifestyle.
Mm, luxurious, please give me that because
Yeah, you luxury also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
luxury.
we've worked too hard not to have
I think
luxury.
I'll say
Yeah,
luxury.
So
when Eric said earlier, I thought you would say like 35 or
Yeah, or
something.
40 or
So I
No,
can
no, no,
just
no.
five.
That's no that
yeah.
modest is punishment, isn't it? Need to retire at
No,
35.
no, because
That's-
if you retire at 35, if you retire at 35 with a modest lifestyle, I'm assuming modest lifestyle means for the rest of your life. I'm assuming also it means you're on a fixed income for the rest of your life and you
Yeah.
can
no
afford to
You can
debts,
retire, you
afford,
can afford
nothing.
to
yeah.
live modestly, which
Hmm.
means you're freed up to pursue other things
Yeah.
at a younger age. And eventually you end up far wealthier, like because you can utilize that
Yeah.
time or you can take that money.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's
So
55,
55 is so old.
what's
No,
55, 67? What's the difference? But
right?
12
it's
years.
luxury.
12 whole years.
Yeah, but still with maybe more gray hairs. So give me the luxury
Yeah,
and let me
luxury,
rest then.
man. Luxury.
Yeah, 30 years. Yeah, I will retire early and with a modest. Yeah, but no, yeah. Geez,
Mm.
no.
All right.
Oh, no, no, no. That's a very heart-wrenching question.
All right.
Really?
Now,
With
yeah,
all the hard work right now.
now I'll retire with the luxurious lifestyle, whatever. Even if it's 2 years or 3 years or whatever, however long that is, let me enjoy and ball.
Uh,
Because at the end of the day, most of the people
I
that you see
You
agree.
with
see
the
some
big cars
retirees here over here, they're struggling.
are the
So I want to
retirees.
retire rich,
So
please.
go
Yeah,
out with a bang,
yeah,
as they say.
exactly.
Exactly, man.
Right. So thank
Jeez.
you. Thank you to Seun. Thank you to Johnny Boy. Thank you to Stan. Thank you as well for tuning in to this episode. I hope you found it as enlightening as we did. If you have your own stories or tips about adulthood, please leave them in the comment section below or share them on our social media by following the link in the description below. Until the next time, take care, stay curious, and use your brain. SCFR.